bit about how lists and strings are a little bit interchangeable. How they we can get the first element of both using the index syntax with square brackets of like 0 or 1 to get the first or second element from a string or list. We can also use slicing syntax to get substrings out of strings or sublists out of lists. One of the things that is very different between lists and strings, though, is that lists are mutable, meaning that I can actually change something in a list. Let's go back and let's say we have our word is frigate. And let's say I wanted to change the frigate to a brigate, and I wanted to do something like change the first element. I want to set that to a B instead of an F. And that's not allowed. Word has not been changed. You're not allowed to go change some single character or some bit of characters in a string. Strings are immutable in Python. That's just the way the language works. But items is a list, and it's not that way. So if I wanted to make the first item to be a brigate, I can. Items has now been changed. The 0th element has been mutated to a completely new value. This is not necessarily a good thing, but it is the way the language works. And so it's very good to know that if you needed to change an element in a list, you can. But if you need to change an element like a character in a string, you cannot. That actually can lead to some interesting problem-solving techniques of switching back and forth between lists and strings, which we will use in later exercises. So just something to keep in mind, lists are mutable.